What stood out about Harold as a player was that he just went about his business. When the game was on the line, he was one of the guys that you wanted to be up at the plate. He was very fundamentally sound. He was a good outfielder, could go get the ball, had a really good arm, had plate discipline, had a beautiful swing. You could see right away that this was somebody who was going to be very good. Harold had the perfect Charlie Lau swing. Uh, he was balanced, head down, finish high. If you look at Charlie Lau's book, he had 10 absolutes on hitting, and I think Harold checked the box on every single one of them. In fact, when Charlie Lau was hired here as a hitting coach, one of the first things he said was he wasn't going to do anything to Harold's swing. Harold I think was tough to pitch against because he never let his emotions get in the way. He was so focused, when he went to the plate. And where so many players, are great in the first 3 or 4 innings, but they're not so good in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And Harold was the same all the way through. Harold was a very good outfielder, good enough that we played him in center field sometimes. I mean, he had good enough speed. He got good breaks going to the ball. He had a very strong and accurate arm. Had he not run into problems with his knees, he would have played his whole career in the outfield. He was a really, really good outfielder. As opposed to some designated hitters who never had a chance of playing another position, Harold was very good at his position until he got hurt. There are not very many players who can stick around the big leagues for 22 years at a high level. And Harold did that. I mean, you look at Harold's numbers over 22 years, and he's at the top. He's right up at the top in almost every offensive category. And there are very few players who have careers that long and who have careers as productive as Harold had all the way along. Away from the field, Harold is just a solid guy. He's easy to talk to, that's because he doesn't say much, and you can talk as much as you want. But Harold's Harold's smart. I mean, Harold, he makes very, very incisive comments. He's a very, very, very bright guy. The only time I would say that Harold maybe gets a little bit nutty or out of line is when he hangs around with Kittle. We got to keep him away from Kittle. But otherwise, Harold is just a great guy to be around. Well, as a coach, Harold was a rock. I mean, not so much the techniques, but just in teaching players how to be big league players. It's not that easy to be a big leaguer. It's a long way from AAA to the big leagues. And Harold was a really good advisor to the young players. And Harold just gives really good, solid advice. He's never up, he's never down, and nothing ever phases him. And he's able to impart that to young players. Kind of looked at Harold as kind of a little brother, or second, or maybe a son. And seeing Harold achieve what he's achieved has really brought tremendous joy to me.